How you doing? So back with another what I call a midweek easy pasta. Today we've got mushroom, broccoli, tomatoes, garlic and cream. Lovely. Easy. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. So I've got some mushrooms there, fresh mushrooms. There's 250 grams there. That's like kind of one of those plastic punnet type things they come in. Slice them up. 2 cups of broccoli. 1 can of tomatoes. That was a whole plum tomato. I've crushed that up roughly with my hand. When I say a regular size can, I mean a 400 ml, you know, that one. Okay, 2 teaspoons of oregano, dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1 cup there of cream. I'm using thick cream. It makes no difference if you use thick or thin. It will work out exactly the same. 1 cup of onion, and then I've got some black olives. I don't know, 5 or 6 black olives, taking the stones out. Let's get moving. So in there I've got 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm using a olive oil. Use something different if you want. 1 cup of the onion goes straight in, as does the garlic, tablespoon of chopped garlic. And I'm going to get those olives in now to get them moving. We're on a slightly above medium heat and we're going to go for about 3 minutes. Now, you need to get your pasta cooked. I'm not going to talk about pasta very much. I'm using 4 cups in total of a fusilli pasta. You can use any type of pasta that you want, but yeah, get that ready and give this a stir every now and then. So of course the olives are optional, and if you're interested, these are a Kalamata type of olive. I love them. We're going to go with our broccoli. In that goes. You can see I'll kind of cut it into small kind of bite-sized pieces. We're now going to add salt and black pepper, and we're going to let this go for another 3 minutes. Super fab. Here we go with the mushrooms. 250 grams. It's like 3 cups, but they're going to cook right down. We may even get a little bit of moisture from them. Be back again in about 3 minutes. Keep it moving, this one. So you can see that the mushrooms have reduced down, and you can hear that they're giving out some moisture. We're now going to go in with that 2 teaspoons of oregano, or oregano, as my American friends call it. And then 1 can of tomatoes. Okay. Little mix. Now we're going to go for another 4 minutes, giving it a stir every now and then. Really super. Okay. 1 cup of cream. Like I said, I'm using thick or thin. It's all going to work out exactly the same. Don't worry about which one you use. And I didn't show you this earlier, but I've got a tablespoon here of some fresh Parmesan. I'm going to give that a mix just for 2 minutes, then I'll be back. Keep it moving all the time. That's lovely, really nice and creamy now. We've got the garlic in there. Beautiful vegetables. It's pasta time. So here, I'm going to go in with my pasta. I'm using fusilli. I'm going to give that a little mix in there for about 2 minutes, ready to serve. Okay, and there you go, job done, nice and easy, nice quick, which I always call a midweek sort of pasta thing. Fresh tomatoes, garlic, onions, mushrooms, spaghetti. What could go wrong? This is vegetarian, it's vegan, it's beautiful, it's easy. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So what we have here are 300 grams of fresh mushrooms. I've just kind of cut them quite big, like kind of halved and quartered them. 1 cup of onion, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 1 teaspoon of paprika. Now that's a hot paprika, so it's a little bit like chili powder. You can adjust that, use a sweet one, or change both of these, in fact, if you want, to something like rosemary, basil, or marjoram, something like that. And then here I've got some garlic. There's about 4 or 5 cloves there sliced. And in there I've got tomatoes. That's fresh tomato. There's about 3 cups there in total. And I just put them into my food processor and mashed them up. If you want, you can just chop fresh tomatoes a little bit smaller. So you're going to need a skillet, pan or something, or a kind of little woky thing like this. I've got some olive oil in there, about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. The heat's just been put on above medium. We're going to go in with the 1 cup of onion, about a tablespoon of sliced or chopped garlic. I'm now going to add some salt. I'm going to add some black pepper. And then we're going to go for just about 3 minutes or so. Wonderful stuff. Next up, we're going to add the fresh tomatoes. And like I say, I sometimes do this because we get quite a lot of bulk vegetables in. I will make a big bowl of this, you know, because it works in different recipes that I'm cooking here. So chop them up, put them into a food processor and kind of made them into a bit of a paste there. Now if you want, you could go for a can or tin tomatoes. Not quite the same, I don't think. In fact, it's not the same at all really, but if you want, you can do that. But I think the fresh tomatoes in this one works really well. Okay, stay on this vibrant heat. Let's go for about 4 minutes. So that's just about 4 minutes there, and that's beautiful. Next up, we're going to add the oregano and the paprika, and like I say, if you want, change those to something that you like. I think that's a nice little combo. Yeah, with paprika, you usually get 3 types. You get hot, which is like chili, sweet, which is nice and mild, or smoked. So just be careful when you're purchasing or using any of those. Okay, mushroom time. So 300 grams here. White mushrooms, fairly chunky cut. Stay again on this nice highish heat. We might get some moisture from the mushrooms as they cook. Be back again about another 4 minutes or so. Stir in fairly often now. Beautiful, really, really good. Okay, pasta time. I'm using spaghetti. I've got about 3 cups of cooked spaghetti here. In it goes. You can use anything else you like really. Maybe some farfalle, penne, rigatoni, up to you. Couple of minutes, we're just gonna mix the two together. It's ready. I'll see you at the table. All right, and there you go. Another really simple, beautiful, vegan friendly spaghetti there. Hope you enjoyed that. Really simple, easy pasta today. We've got mushrooms, cream, cheese, pasta of your choice, garlic, couple of herbs, delicious. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So mushrooms here, there's 250 grams there, which is about 3 cups, white mushrooms, fresh. I cut them, they're fairly thick actually, but cut them how you want, dice them up even. Pasta, the pasta that I'm using today, penne, again, roughly equal parts in volume, about 3 cups. 2 cups of cream here. Now I always get loads of questions about this. This is a thick cooking cream. It doesn't matter if you use thick or thin cream. It's going to work out the same. I've got some mozzarella there. You could use cheddar or parmesan, but I want to get a couple of cups in there of, well, it's just over about 1.5 cups actually, of cheese in there to give it some creaminess. I've got 2 teaspoons of oregano, 2 teaspoons of sweet paprika, cup of onion, and about 3 cloves of garlic. Let's get moving. So my pan is there. I've got some olive oil in there. You can use a different oil if you want. I've got about 3 tablespoons. We're going to start by dropping in the onion, the garlic. I'm going to add some salt and pepper now. On and above medium heat, just put that on. We're going to go for 3 minutes. Fabulous. Let's drop in the mushrooms. Like I say, slice mine up like so. Chop them nice and small if you want, or make them bigger, entirely up to you. We're going to drop in oregano and paprika. That's what I'm using, but you know, change that around if you want to something else, some other herbs and spices. And again, 3 to 4 minutes just to get these mushrooms on their way. Fabulous. But next up, we're going to add in our cream. Like I say, 250 ml of cream, couple of cups roughly. And like I said, this is a thick cooking cream, but thin cream also works the same. I'm going to add a little bit of water, like 100 ml of water, and we're going to go here for another 3 minutes, but this time stirring constantly. Fabulous. Now I added water. Now first of all, I didn't add water because I had thick cream. If I had thin cream, I would have still added some water. And I use water, but you could have used a stock, like a chicken stock or a vegetable stock, or even some white wine. That's up to you. We're now going to drop in the cheese. I'm going for mozzarella. Going to get that in there. Give it a quick mix. Cheddar and Parmesan also, of course, works really well. Then we're going to go with our pasta. Penne is what I'm using. 3 more minutes, stirring, 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 getting that sauce in, on and around our pasta. We've done it. Beautiful. A really simple, beautiful, creamy mushroom pasta that takes no time at all.